Good morning, students. Welcome to the class on polymers. In the last class, we were discussing cationic polymerization reaction. In that, we were discussing chain termination. A chain in cationic polymerization can be terminated by loss of a proton or by addition of a nucleophile that reacts with the propagating site. Now, when we remove a proton next to the carbocation center, loss of proton, then this proton is leaving without electrons. So the electrons in the carbon-hydrogen bond now will polarize towards the carbocation so that it generates a double bond. Because of the loss of proton, here we will generate a double bond between these two carbons. So this is how we can terminate a carbocationic reactive center in a cationic polymerization reaction. And there is another way we can terminate the cationic reactive center by addition of a nucleophile. So when we add a nucleophile, a negatively charged nucleophile, then it will add to the carbocation center. It will generate a bond between this carbocation center and the nucleophile so that this carbocation center will be terminated. So these are the two ways by which we can terminate the carbocation reactive center. Now the nucleophile adds to carbocation center and it generates a carbon nucleophile bond. So this is the mechanism for cationic polymerization reaction. In a cationic polymerization reaction, if there is a possibility for the conversion of less stable carbocation into more stable carbocation, then a rearrangement will easily occur to convert a less stable carbocation into a more stable carbocation. So that is what is called carbocation rearrangements. Carbocation rearrangement is a well-known process. For example, take this alkene. This is 1, 2, 3 methyl, 1 butene. When we do polymerization using cationic polymerization, then what happens? Initially, this double bond will react with Lewis acid so that it generates a carbocation here. So BF3, this double bond will add to BF3 and this carbon generates a positive charge. Since it is gaining electrons, it will get negative charge. Since it loses electrons, it will gain positive charge. Now, this carbocation is a secondary carbocation. This carbocation is a secondary carbocation. But look, on the next carbon, we have a hydrogen and a methyl. So if this hydrogen can migrate to this carbon, then a carbocation will be generated here. So this is a tertiary carbocation. That means when we migrate this hydrogen along with the bonding electrons, that means H minus transfer, this is called 1 comma 2 hydride transfer, because from first position to second position, when we do this 1 comma 2 hydride transfer, then this is becoming neutral and we are getting a carbocation here. This is a tertiary carbocation. This is a primary carbocation. This is a tertiary carbocation. Of course, we know the stability of carbocations. Tertiary carbocations are more stable than secondary carbocation. So in a cationic polymerization, if there is a possibility for the conversion of less stable carbocation to more stable carbocation, then this 1,2 hydride or 1,2 methyl transfers will easily occur and they will generate more stable carbocation. Now the polymerization will occur here. The polymerization will occur here. So when we write the overall polymer, then this is CH2, CH2, C methyl, methyl. Now it will bind to another carbon, another monomer at the end carbon. So CH2, CH radical cation will be generated, which will migrate. This is the next monomer, and then this is how this cationic polymerization will occur. And this is poly. You just write the nomenclature, okay? 3-methyl, 1-butene. So this is how we need to write the polymers in a cationic polymerization with cation rearrangements. I'll give some examples for alkenes that will undergo cationic polymerization. This functional group is called alkene. Alkene. With just 2 carbons, it is given as vinyl. It is the short name is vinyl. 1-propene. 1-propene will undergo polymerization to give polypropylene. This is common name is propylene. Common name is propylene. When it undergoes polymerization, next second monomer, next monomer, this is called polypropylene. Polypropylene. Isobutene. You try to write the polymer and you also write the applications here. Applications, just 1 or 2 applications. Vinyl acetate. Vinyl acetate. When it undergoes polymerization, we will get polyvinyl acetate. polyvinyl acetate PVA, styrene. This molecule is called styrene. When it undergoes polymerization, it gives polystyrene. Polystyrene. So these are some examples for alkenes which will undergo cationic polymerization. In anionic polymerization, the initiator is generally a nucleophile because we need to generate an anion. So nucleophile reacts with alkene and it generates an anion. So the very good examples for nucleophiles are sodium amide and butyl lithium. These are very, very strong nucleophiles so that they can easily undergo reactions with the alkenes. Generally, in a anionic polymerization reaction, alkenes with electron withdrawing substituents will undergo anionic polymerization. You know, we are generating anions in the reaction. When we look at the stability of anions, anions with electron withdrawing substituents are more stable. So that is why alkenes with electron withdrawing substituents will easily undergo anionic polymerization. Again, anionic polymerization is having three steps in its mechanism: chain initiation, chain propagation, and chain termination. Of course, this time I'm not going to discuss the notes. You write the notes on your own. What is chain initiation? In a chain initiation, a nucleophile a nucleophile will attack the alkene. Cyanide is an electron withdrawing group. It is a strong electron withdrawing group. Now in butyl lithium, butyl anion will attack on this carbon. Then the double bond will be polarized towards this carbon. When we do so, we are generating anion on the carbon which is having cyanide substituent. Since cyanide is a withdrawing group, it can easily stabilize the negative charge here. So that is why this anion will add to this carbon and the double bond will be polarized towards this carbon which is having electron withdrawing substituent. This is a chain initiation step, and in the chain propagation step, what happens? This monomer anion generated in the first step will now add to another monomer, will now add to another monomer, this negative charge will add here, double bond will be polarized towards this carbon. these steps will occur again and again, so that the final chain will become very large. This reacts with another monomer. You write one more step. You write one more step. So these propagating steps will occur again and again, so that the monomer chain, the polymer chain will increase in each and every step.